Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Ducksy Gaming and the Day 3 update for Mayhem. Yet again, there is an absolute ton to cover. So we'll start off with the simple stuff. I got through Uber Lab, did that. That was actually much more straightforward than I thought. Did really good DPS on Azaro, so I never really felt in danger. So once we got that completed, it means we add our next Ascendancy, which just adds lots of benefits to Frenzy Charges, so we get more damage, more evasion, more attack speed, more movement speed, stuff like that. It just really helps. And I've pushed on and completed nearly all the completion up to white and yellow maps. I have 2 yellow maps left to do. I've done all the white ones, and I've started ticking over into the red corrupted maps. I think I've got 6 or 7 done so far. So the first thing I want to talk through is what the experience has been like in day 3, and it's pretty nutty, to be honest. I'm not convinced putting mods in this thing was a good idea. It really limits build diversity and even being able to get through and clear your atlas, because there are some mods on maps that make it super difficult. So I had a lava lake that I just completed. It was Enfeeble, Temp Chains, 4 additional prod with Harbinger. It was just absolutely nutty. 61% less effective curse on monsters, so I wasn't getting very good crit chance. The boss arena was just absolutely ludicrous with loads of arch nemesis monsters in there chucking loads of projectiles. Trying to then fight Kitava and even see where the heart is when it spawns was pretty chaotic. And then this footage here is my computer nearly dying, going through a 4 proj Harbinger match, going through breaches. I'm very surprised my little processor kept up. I was quite proud of it. I was even more proud of the fact our character didn't fall over and die, considering we have 0 armor. And that's why I'm loving this build. It freezes and chills most things up to this point, and that was a pretty juicy map. It did really well. So I'm looking forward to just trying to get Searing Exarch down. I don't know if I can do it. I want my +1 strike gloves. The easiest way to get them is just force myself through to get to a T14, get Exarch down, then I can start putting Exarch influence on every map. At this stage, I don't care about Eater of Worlds. The only issue I've got is I've still not had a Divine Vessel drop, so I haven't got Burning Ground immunity. So those maps are going to feel pretty gnarly until we can get that sorted out. Overall, I am still really enjoying it, even though I do think some of the modifiers are very unfair. And I just think when you're corrupting maps, let's say you corrupt a map that's enemies take less damage from crits and you've got Enfeeble and you think I can just about brute force my way through that map, maybe with a couple of deaths. And then monsters get the 30% less damage taken buff, and you are really struggling, especially on a build like this that relies around chilling and freezing. If I can't do that, I lose about 3/4 of my damage because we won't proc Trinity, we don't get the 100% increased fire damage from frozen enemies, and we don't get the 30% increased damage because we've got the biggest effect of chill we can get. I also have lightning damage on my claw, which means I can shock enemies normally for about 15%. That goes as well. So it literally obliterates my build if I get mods like that. And that's the only thing that's slightly difficult. But it's never comfortable doing your corrupted red maps. For me, it's normally the worst part of the league start. And I normally try and get my character to a level like I am now, about 89, so that I don't care if I die map after map after map, as long as I get it done. Because then when I get through and I'm farming red maps, I'm at a decent level to take a nice spread out passive tree and collect most of the points that I need. So I've got both the mini bosses down. They were fairly straightforward. But overall, yeah, it was just difficult and insane. And I'm not sure my computer is going to be able to cope with all of these mods and everything in the maps. But we'll give it a go and see how I get on. So let's run through the character. There's been quite a few upgrades. I've re-rolled my 6-link. And I've managed to roll Fortify on it. I say managed to roll. I hit 1 orb on it and I hit this. It was obviously lesser. I actually wasn't going for this because 8% is not amazing. But on bosses, it stays up for a lot of the time. And you'll see why that's important when I get to my defenses later. I have managed to craft a half decent claw, which I crafted with cold essences. I hit lightning and attack speed, crafted crit, X slammed and hit a small percentage physical damage. But we do convert some fizz to cold with Frostblade, so it's not a dead mod. Obviously got Heat Shiver. I've got rid of the unique boots I was using because I needed to be more flexible. These still need recrafting because they're only 20% movement speed, but with Radiate you get a ton anyway. And the reason I've done it is because I've rolled a shield with 30% elemental ailment avoidance. So I now don't need it on the boots. The gloves are still as they were. I don't want to do anything with gloves because I want to get a pair ready to craft that's got implicits, but obviously I need to unlock my Atlas to realistically farm some of those currencies. The heavy belt is still the same. At some point during the next 24 hours, we'll probably use our Abyss Scarabs to go and get a Stygian Vise. I've added in one Chaos Ring because Chaos damage is starting to cause problems. And this ring is just resistances, bit of damage and life. The rings need recrafting. I just haven't farmed loads of essences yet. I'm going to do that again in the next 24 hours. My amulet is not too bad. It's got crit chance, life, resistances, damage. And I've anointed Divine Judgment because I've done a couple of blight maps. The flask, I've not had an Arch Nemesis monster drop flask yet, which is insane. I think I had about 100 flasks in Trade League by this point, but I don't have any, so they're my campaign flasks. So I've got Diamond Flask with Evasion, Jade Flask with Crit Strike Chance, Onslaught Flask with Attack Speed, and then a Quicksilver Flask and Movement Speed, and then just the Bleeding Life Flask. And in terms of my skill tree, I've made a few changes. I decided to go up here to get Chaos Resistance because, as I say, it's causing problems. And I'm now at about 23% positive. If I can get another Amethyst ring into the build, it's going to go up to 45-50, and that should feel much better. I've dropped these crit nodes, which may have been a mistake because my crit chance, even with everything up, is now only about 70%. But I needed more ailment effect to get more shock, and I think overall that gives more damage. Because I attack so quick, I am going to be critting fairly regularly, and I'm more bothered about getting more ailment effect and more damage so that when I do crit, it applies a nice big shock. And this is all in preparation for maybe getting a Yoka Suffering drop. We'll wait and see. I want to drop these two nodes next, but at the moment my mana's tight. I need minus mana cost on rings before I can drop these, and then I can take these crit nodes again, and then the next node for 90, which is realistically not going to get much further than that with this sort of character, would be Cannot Be Maimed and Cannot Be Hindered because they can roll as map mods. So that's the only thing I've struggled with is Syndicate. I have done one safe house, I've done loads and loads of missions, I got Gravicious in the campaign, got him into my board, and I still haven't had the Fizzer's Fire and Fizzer's Lightning drop, and that's massively important for this build because I can't build enough defenses with what I've got in SSF. So if forgoing physical damage mitigation, going evasion, once our Flask and Frenzy charges are up, it's probably 85% to evade, which is pretty nice. It's just better than having a bit of armor and a bit of evasion because even a little bit of armor, 10 to 15,000 is not going to save me in this T14 to T16 maps. And then Elrion has eluded me completely. So if we go over to Jun, he's either really unlucky about coming onto the board because I think I've kicked 6 or 7 people off, or he's here. The leader hasn't turned up yet in any of the research missions that I've done, so he could be here. I really need those rings to be able to push the build further because the mana cost is about 30 odd. There's plenty of times where I run out of mana, and then that can basically mean death. In terms of the Atlas tree, I kind of wish I hadn't gone breached, but I've done it now, and I can't really respec it. It's too many points. So we've got the Essence nodes. We've gone Strong Boxes. I've gone Harvest as well. Still not seen one Harvest in a map, which is pretty nutty. Well, I say in a map, in like the day of mapping. I think I've done like however many maps, 30, 40 maps. No Harvest. So the next stage, I think, so I can prepare myself for Exile if I fail, is going to be lower tier map farming for essences and harvest. Get some harvest juice, get some essences, get better gear, and then push on. There's not really that much to go through. It's fairly quick update. So what we'll do is we will do another map. And they have all been absolutely disgusting. So I've just had a T14 map drop, I think, which is my first T14 map. So we'll go and do this and hope and pray that it doesn't absolutely diddle us with mods. So that's pretty good if it will stay. It did stay. Okay, so this is actually about as friendly mod pool as I've seen. It's not brilliant. I could have picked better mods, but it's not too bad. So the total death count is 22, which for a character who on paper should fold whenever he gets tapped by fizz damage is not too bad. So let's see what this is. Oh, it's corrupt. It's un-ID'd. So we're not even going to see what the mod is. So let's just dive right in. It's Harbingers, I know that much. Oh, some flasks. I don't need to pick all them up, but we will. So, what I've been doing on Harbingers is it's really, as you can see, messing with my computer. We've got hinder, I can see that much. So I'm trying to actually rush. Oh, we've got beyond as well. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. So I actually think I'm going to try and book it through this map and get to the boss and get out of here because there's no way we're surviving this. I mean, I assume we're going to get some sort of bosses. Oh, there's loads of maps I'm going to have to stay, aren't I? Yeah, we'll yoink those maps and get moving. This, I mean, it is fun, but it is a bit over the top. Because you can just literally... I mean, I know I've got no defenses anyway, but you can just die even on a decent character. I've seen really tanky players in hardcore with not even really on that tough maps just go down normally to the Fizz's extra chaos, but... That's actually not bad for us because we've got more chaos for it. Well, as extra is always bad, but like... I don't know why this monster is so tanky, but he is. Well, I'm not going to bother picking up 6 sockets. They seem to drop in absolute abundance. Oh, the hinder is annoying. So I need that extra point, but how I'm going to get it, having to survive these maps, I have no idea. The thing is, you get hindered, you get temp chains, you get all them together like that, and you just can't move. It's really difficult. Apologies, I haven't got the sound on because I don't want to annoy you with the amount of insane sounds going on at the moment. So. I have no idea if I'm even killing any of these because there's bubbles all over the shop. We are. I don't need any of them. Yeah, granite flask we might need in the future. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's find a boss, or this will take all day. Let's just get some flask charges. That'll do. Better than nothing. Where is he? There he is. I love it when a Harvey turns up at the same time. Permanently hindered probably from either the Harvey or these stupid fire things raining out the sky. That's really it for this episode. It's really just to show you kind of where the character is, what the Atlas tree is and how it performs at the moment. The next episode might be fairly short because I need to do a lot of farming in low tier maps. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Take care. And hopefully see you in the next one.